इसको तो नाम पाऊँ
तो करके गिर गया राइट से।
इधर गिरा ये हे प्रभु क्रीम भाई Evening chanting, page 14, Hindi book. Yo so bhagava arhang sambuddho swakato yen bhagavata tammo supatipanno yassa bhagavato savak sangho तमयं भगवन्त सधम्मं ससङ्गम् इमे हि सकारि हि यथार्हम् आरोपिते अभिपूजयामा साधुनो वन्दे भगवा सुचिरपरिनिभूतोऽपि पश्चिमा जनता नुकम्पमानसा इमे सकारि दुर्गतपणाकारभूते पटिघातु अम्हाकं दीर्घरथं हिताय सुखाय अरहं सम्मा सम्बुद्धो भगवा बुद्धं भगवन्तम् अभिवादे स्वाकातो भगवता धम्मो धम्मं नमस्सामि सुपटिपन् भगवतो संघो संघं हन्दमयं बुद्धस्य भगवतो कुम्भभागनमकारं करोमसि नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्य नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्य नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्य हन्दमयं बुद्धानुसतिनयं करोमसि तं कूपन भगवतं एवं कल्याणो इति सद्दो अभुगतो इति पिसु भगवा अरहं सम्मा सम्बुद्धो विद्याचरण संपन्नो सुगतो लोकविदु अनुत्तरो पुरिसिद्धमसारथि सत्तादेव मनुस्सानं बुद्धो भगवाति हन्दमयं बुद्धाभिगीतिं करोमसि बुद्धवारहन्त वरतादिगुणाभियुतो शुद्धाभिज्ञानकरुणा हि समागततो बोधेसियो सुजनतं कमलं वसुरो वन्दामहं तमरण शिरसा जिनेन्दं बुद्धो यो सर्वपाणिनं शरणं खेममुत्तमं पठमानुसतिष्ठान् वन्दामि तं शिरेणहं बुद्धस्सस्मि दासीव बुद्धो मे सामि किस्सरो बुद्धस्सहं नियादेमि शरीरं जीवितं चिदं वन्दन्तीहं चरिष्यामि बुद्धस्यैव सुबोधितम् नास्ति मे शरणम् अन्य बुद्धो मे शरणं वरम् एतेन सत्वज्जेन वड्डेयं सतु शासने बुद्धं मे वन्दमानाय यं पुण्यं पशुतम् इद सभ्येऽपि अन्तराया मे मायेषु तस्य हन्दमयं धम्मानुसतिनयं करोमसि स्वाकातो भगवता धम्मो सन्दिट्ठिको अकालिको एहिपस्सिको ओपनयिको पच्यतं वेदितं विन्योहीति हन्दमयं धम्माभिगीतिं करोमसि स्वाकाततादिगुणयोगवशेन सेयो यो मग्गपाकपरियतिविमोकभेदो धम्मो कुलोकपतना तदधारि वन्दामहं तमरं वरधम्ममेतं धम्मो यो सर्वपाणिनं शरणं खेममुत्तमं द्वितीयानुसतिष्ठान् वन्दामि तं शिरेणहं धम्मस्मि दासीव धम्मो देशामि ईश्वरो धम्मसं नियादि शरीरं जीवितञ्चिदं वन्दन्ति यं चरिष्यामि धम्मस्य सुधम्मतं नत्ति मे शरणम् अन्यं धम्मो मे शरणं वरम् एतेन सज्जवज्जे वड्डेयं सत्कुशासने धम्मं मे वन्दमानाय यं पुण्यं वसुतम् इद सब्बेऽपि अन्तरायां माये सुन्तस्य तेजसा आनन्दमयं संगानुसतिनयं करोमसि सुपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावकसङ्गो उजुपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावकसङ्गो न्यायपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावकसङ्गो सामीचिपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावकसङ्गो यदिदं चत्तारि पुरुषयुगानि अष्टपुरुषयुगला एष भगवतो सावकसङ्गो आहुनेयो दक्षिणेयो अञ्जलिकरणीयो अनुत्तरं पुण्यकृतं लोकसाति आनन्दमयं संगाभिगीतिं करोमसि सधम्मजो सुपटिपत्तिगुणदियुतो यो अष्टविदो अरियपुङ्गलसङ्गसेठो शीलादिधम्मपवरा सयकाय चेतो वन्दामहं तमरिगणं सुशुद्धं सङ्गो यो सबपाणिनं शरणं खेममुत्तमं ततीयानुसतिष्ठानं वन्दामि तं शिरेण सङ्घस्मि दासीव सङ्गो मे सामिकीश्वरो सङ्गसहं नियामि शरीरं जीवितञ्चिदं वन्दन्ति यं चरिष्यामि सङ्गसोपटिपन्नतं नत्ति मे शरणम् सङ्गो मे शरणं वरम् एतेन सज्जवज्जेन वड्डेयं सत्कुशासने सङ्गं मे वन्दमानाय यं पुण्यं प्रसुतम् इद सब्बेऽपि अन्तरायामि माहेषु तस्य तेजसा Ilan सूत का जतना
इलान होता बीमार। अब हम भोजंग सुत्ता पहला वाला महाकश्यप भोजंग सुत्ता या गिलान सुत्ता नंबर 1 जो है उसकी पाठ करेंगे।
කස්සපත්තේර බොජ්ජංග සුත්ත. නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. එවං මේ සුතං ඒකං සමයං භගවා රාජගහේ විහෙරති වේලුවනේ කලන්දක නිවාපේ. තේන කෝපන සමයේන ආයස්මා මහා කස්සපෝ පිප්පලි ගුහායන් විහෙරති. ආබාධිකෝ දුක්ඛිතෝ බාලගිලානෝ. අතකෝ භගවා සායන්න සමයං පතිසල්ලානා වුට්ඨිතෝ. යේනායස්මා මහා කස්සපෝ තේනුපසංකමී. උපසංකමිත්වා පඤ්ඤත්තේ ආසනේ නිසීදි. නිසජ්ජකෝ භගවා ආයස්මන්තං මහා කස්සපං ඒතදවෝච. කච්චිතේ කස්සප කමනීයං කච්චි යාපනීයං කච්චි දුක්ඛා වේදනා පටික්කමන්ති නෝ අභික්කමන්ති. පටික්කමෝසානං පඤ්ඤායති නෝ අභික්කමෝති. න මේ භන්තේ කමනීයං න යාපනීයං බාල්හා මේ දුක්ඛා වේදනා අභික්ඛමන්ති නෝ පටික්ඛමන්ති. අභික්ඛමෝසානං පඤ්ඤායති නෝ පටික්ඛමෝති. සත්තිමේ කස්සප බොජ්ජංගා මයා සම්මදක්ඛාතා භාවිතා බහුලී කතා. අභිඤ්ඤාය සම්බෝධාය නිබ්බානාය සංවත්තන්ති. කතමේ සත්ත සති සම්බොජ්ජංගෝ කෝ කස්සප මයා සම්මදක්ඛාතෝ භාවිතෝ බහුලීකතෝ. අභිඤ්ඤාය සම්බෝධාය නිබ්බානාය සංවත්තති. ධම්මවිචය සම්බොජ්ජංගෝ කෝ කස්සප මයා සම්මදක්ඛාතෝ භාවිතෝ බහුලීකතෝ. අභිඤ්ඤාය සම්බෝධාය නිබ්බානාය සංවත්තති. විරිය සම්බොජ්ජංගෝ කෝ කස්සප මයා සම්මදක්ඛාතෝ භාවිතෝ බහුලීකතෝ. අභිඤ්ඤාය සම්බෝධාය නිබ්බානාය සංවත්තති. pīti sambojjhango ko kassapa maya samdakkhato bhavito bahulikato abhiññāya sambodhāya nibbānāya samvattati passaddhi sambojjhango ko kassapa maya samdakkhato bhavito bahulikato abhiññāya sambodhāya nibbānāya samvattati samadhi sambojjhango ko kassapa maya samdakkhato bhavito bahulikato abhiññāya sambodhāya nibbānāya samvattati upekkhā sambojjhango ko kassapa maya samdakkhato bhavito bahulikato abhiññāya sambodhāya nibbānāya samvattati ime kho kassapa satta bojjhanga maya samdakkhata bhavita bahulikata abhiññāya sambodhāya nibbānāya samvattanti tagga bhagava bojjhanga tagga sugata bojjhangāti idamavoca bhagavā attamanu ayasma mahakasapo bhagavato bhāsitang abhinandi uttāhi chāyasma mahakasapo tamma abādhā තථා පහිනෝ චායස්මතෝ මහා කස්සපස්ස සෝ ආබාධෝ අහෝසීති ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන සබ්බ රෝගෝ විනස්සතු ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන සබ්බ රෝගෝ විනස්සතු ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන සබ්බ රෝගෝ විනස්සතු
We will now hear very mindfully this talk by Mr. Rodney Smith titled Task-Centered and Heart-Centered Meditation.
The talk this evening is entitled Task-Centered and Heart-Centered Meditation. And I don't know if any of you remember, you have to be about my age, on TV in the 50s, where they had Queen for a Day. And they had these very sorrowful people, 3 of them, on stage before a live audience, in which each person would tell their despairing story. I mean, multiple complications and deaths and losses and tragedies. And then they would have an applause meter. And the one who had the highest applause would be Queen for a Day, and they would come out with a big robe and a crown and give them a refrigerator or something like that for being the most miserable. And the other 2, they had an additional misery that they didn't win. Sometimes the very telling of the story, the embellishing it, you can feel the persona begin to grab the sense of tragic me. And it's one that's kind of ennobling. All this has happened to me, and yet I can still raise my head. A little bent, but it's still up. Well, it's actually not so different than sitting in on some interviews sometimes. Because our stories are Queen for a Day. And some of us are into them. We expect the refrigerator. And yet, we sit there, the teachers, and we offer you very petty and standard advice. I mean, how do we know how to fix all this? We haven't a clue what you should do. And we see the longing in your face for this is the answer. And there isn't one. There's just not one. And we say, the best we can do is to conjure up different themes of be aware of it. And we really try to be very creative. But I'm afraid that's it. And it leaves us feeling, well, I mean, that's kind of raw. Like, that's it? I mean, I sometimes wish I had a bigger bag of tricks, and often wish I could sit in the interviews of other teachers so that I could pick up a few pointers. Because I feel like I rob you of what you most desperately want, and that's a fix for the problem. And it's hard to see that need and not be able to offer you much. And yet, that's the answer. And I think the hardest component of the practice for me to swallow as I was moving along in my own practice was that there's nothing to do. I mean, what good is awareness? Sometimes I would get that kind of frustration, being annoyed or frustrated or angry or grieving or whatever might be going on, and then hearing my teacher's voice in my head saying, be aware of it. And like, don't I need to work it out or analyze something to get in there and, I don't know, something. And it's a little bit exasperating because our whole life has been about doing something. And we have an enormous faith in technology and resources in this country, technological responses, and we think that any problem can be fixed if we apply the right methodology, the right technology, and the right effort. I mean, look at the Gulf War, for God's sake. This, what do they call it, shock and awe? We'll get them so amazed of our technology that they'll give up. And we'll sit back on our TV and watch the spot. It's like watching a fireworks display. We're just so proud of what we can do. Bomb a single building in the middle of a city. I mean, technology really has the upper hand. And it's advanced so much further than our wisdom that now we're truly dangerous in terms of a species, especially this country. We're truly dangerous. We're not talking about spears anymore. And we're righteous, which makes us even more dangerous. And we believe that if we apply that to our meditation, if we apply it right, well, we've grown up in a culture where, you know, we now have electric toothbrushes. We don't have to move much. And so we have, okay, come on, Buddhism, give me the science of this thing and let me tackle it, right? I mean, that's sort of the ambiance of the whole way we might approach it. And because we've lived so embedded in a culture with its technological advances, we're going to fix our spiritual pain with the same force and strategy. Shock and awe. Shock and awe. We attempt to work out our problems even before we realize what those problems truly are. We're ready to sit down here and do something. Just give me something to do. We don't really understand what the spiritual problem is, but we're ready to do it. Apply the method even before we understand the problem. And what Buddhism does is let you understand the problem. That's what it's about. Understanding the problem and not applying the doing, but using the methodology to understand the problem. It's a little bit like not being a mechanic and your car breaks down, you just throw open the hood and you just start beating on the thing or taking out spark plugs or pulling wires and feeling very satisfied with yourself, but the car isn't about to start up after you're finished. Because we don't understand the problem. We may have read about the problem, but we truly don't understand it. It can't be read about. You see, that's the thing. And everybody has their own take on the problem. Well, it's because you have done this or that, or need to do more of this or less of that, and you get dizzy in listening to the different teachers' approach towards resolution. Because the true problem hasn't been integrated. And you'll see that in the course of your spiritual practice, however many years it goes, how you understand the problem changes multiple times. You understand it one way 1 week, and then you'll hear a Dharma talk, or you'll have an insight, and suddenly, oh, now I know what it's about. And then a little while later, I see. God, how dumb. God, yes, now I understand. And it just keeps going like that. Keeps going like that. I know that fix-it mentality, my wife and I, we've been together many years, and she looks at the challenge. She's interested in connecting through the challenge when we have a disagreement or something. I'm interested in fixing the problem. This is two different cultures. Venus and Mars, or whatever we are like, and I can't not think that way. It's like, okay, there's such and such is going, okay, let's do that, we'll do that. And she's like totally unsatisfied by that response, because what she's trying to get is the connection, and I'm moving to the solution. And you know, even though I can tell you that, if she were right here and I would still move to the, it's like it doesn't get in somehow. And I don't think, it's not because I don't want to know, it's just that my mind works in terms of that way. And it's because I think of the years of training I've had, not in Buddhism, but in terms of cultural induced problem fixing. I'm getting better. So the effort of getting over the problem is built upon developing the right strategy to the problem. I just need the right strategy, and then I can get over it. I can fix it. I just need to have the right tasks to do. And since we're very task-oriented, feel very accomplished, and we really evaluate ourselves based on our accomplishments in our life. Many of us, not all of us. And whether we're productive enough. I mean, we look at our spiritual lives very much like we look at probably at our work life. I put in 8 hours today. Now it's time to go to bed. Gave it a good shot. Right? What did I accomplish? Well, got 3 walkings and 6 sittings. I mean, it feels that way sometimes. I remember thinking, you know, if I had put in as much time in education as I had in this practice, I'd have like 3 PhDs. And then people would recognize what I had done. What kind of resume is it that I sat and walked for? That's not going to get me kicked upstairs. And I would find myself in cultures, like when I was in Burma, I was a monk, and every day after my interview, the last thing the teacher would say to me, every single day I had an interview, and every single day he said this, no matter what I said, da-da-da-da-da, please try harder. Asking ourselves. But to try towards what? Try towards what? See, now we have to have some sense to ask that question. When we ask that question, it opens Pandora's box. Try towards what? But just try. You see, don't ask the what. Just try. And some of our teachers early on really gave us that. So don't, just put in your time. Try towards what? Don't we think we should have some idea? We may have some vague notion of a promised land. That's where heaven came from. And some awakening. What does that mean? Awakening into what? Shouldn't that be on our 5 most important questions when you get involved in this? Where is this car taking me? I want to know. Well, you know, it's not that important to know for most of us because we like the journey. The journey is its own reinforcement. That's quite sad, actually. Because what the journey does is it promises us hope. Just as long as I'm going, it's going from this. And we look at ourselves and we see nothing of any purity or beauty in us. We see our irritation, our annoyance, our lust, our rage, our list of queen for a day. We see our queen for a day. So God, just, get me to the promised land. So any journey, I don't care where it takes me, but at least it gives me hope that this is not what I have to deal with. Anywhere but here. And being on a journey keeps us in a struggle because we always have the idea of where the journey's going compared to where we actually are. So there's always a struggle. And then struggling, the pain of that struggle, which is inevitable, reminds us that we're not yet there, that we have more to do. So we continue to struggle, which continues to create pain, and the pain reminds us we're not there, so we continue to struggle. Does anybody feel like they're chasing their tail? Are we tired yet? Maybe not tired enough. So the journey involves a struggle, and the struggle reinforces the journey and the journeyer. And this is really what we want, to be honest, many of us. We want to feel ennobled, that we're doing something ennobling in our life, that we have a noble cause, and that we're moving to it. We're not so interested in actually arriving. We're interested in the odds against us in the battle. The shock and the awe. There's a psychological theory, I remember from my undergraduate days, called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance says that the greater the struggle, your efforts to get to the goal, the greater you will project the goal to be. Once you get there, the higher you will evaluate the goal to be, based upon the struggle you have in getting there, in arriving. So the struggle itself gives the goal an ennobled value. And since we've reached such a high evaluation of this goal of awakening, our struggle has to be equally as intense and harsh, so that we will be up to the goal. May I say that the view of task-centered living is the problem. The view that I have a problem and there's somewhere else to go to fix that problem. That's the view of task-centered meditation. And as I mentioned, we follow that view without considering where the going goes. But I can see that I'm changing some way, and incrementally I can see changes in myself. And yes, there are changes. There's no question. that as we put in our time, struggle, force all of the methods and techniques into our daily life, we begin to see changes, mileposts, significant changes in personality and temperament, in character development. And many of us are satisfied enough with those changes that that is resolution enough. That's enough of a payoff. But it always calls out for more work. Because if you've changed this far, think what would be like if you put in more effort, more hours, so that you could change even more in that direction. You see how the journey never ends the journey? Please see that. Time never ends itself. Never. But yet our heart still aches. In some ways, when that ache comes up, we rationalize, well, we just haven't put in enough time. We haven't journeyed far enough. Well, we see changes. We're heading in that direction. I'm calmer, I'm clearer, I'm this, I'm that. We just haven't gone far enough in it. And I'll get there. I'll get there. I will get there. And so the improvement continues and continues. But there's always more to do. And we begin to apply formulas. Since we have more to do, and because we have become often very sophisticated in our doing, and we've listened attentively to Dharma talks, our journey becomes even more subtle. Perhaps no longer as ambitious or as striving. Well, you see that. We keep hearing the word relaxation, just be, something gets in there, and yeah, okay. And there are more changes that occur from that. But we still bring forth the formula response to problems as they come up. Difficulty in my sitting, knee pain, exasperation, irritation. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. See, that's a formula. This too shall pass. That's a journey. We meet the conditioned mechanical mind with a mechanical formula. We are not yet ready for the heart. We are still trying to work out our salvation. And so each time we meet the problem with a mental alternative, as Jan and I was talking about last night, we think our way from it, from the problem, by imposing an alternative to it, some other strategy that allows the journey to continue, and the struggle, and the pain, and the need to do more. But if it's not working, keep trying. Discover the Nobel Prize for Dharma avoidance. Keep trying. If I rest, for God's sake, all I've got's the problem. If I rest, that just leaves the problem. And I don't want that. in my heart of hearts, I don't want that. Don't leave me with the problem, because that's just pain. And my whole approach to spirituality up until this point is that the promised land doesn't contain this. So don't leave me with a problem. And you go into an interview and the teacher leaves you with the problem. And you go back out and figure some formula that he just didn't tell you. Or you conjure up words that he or she might have said, but just didn't say. And this is the real solution. This too shall pass. And every way we move is a denial of truth. Because there's the problem. Still. Perhaps not comes back as often. Perhaps less intense when it does come back. But there it is. After 20 years. And in the end, we begin to feel spiritually disabled. So is what I'm chasing already here or not? We keep hearing that it's here, and but when we look in the here, all we see is the problem. When we say, that isn't here, that isn't the here I want, that isn't the now that I'm going to accept. So let me start out on another journey. This isn't the now, no, this isn't it. And slowly, a maturation occurs. In which we get robbed of our technology, of our shock and awe. And we begin to realize whatever we do, whatever formula we impart, whatever corrections we make, whatever strategy we impose, takes us away from the problem. Where does it take us? It takes us into thought. Because that's the only way you can escape a problem, because the problem is here. And so we have to escape here in order to escape the problem. So the only way to escape here is through imagination. That's the only way. We either deal with the reality of the problem, or we escape from it through thought. Those are the two alternatives. And we begin to see how the words of the thought set up the expectation of the journey and the solution and the heaven. But at the same time, the words of the thought create the struggle, because the problem continues. And the words take us to an imaginative future in which the problem doesn't exist. However, the imagination has to crash into the reality of what's still going on at some point. Oh, God, the knee. Oh, it's back again. And these words then don't hold the promise they once did. They don't hold the promise. So what the mind is saying is that I don't like now, so I will pretend to journey from now with my thoughts. then spend my whole spiritual journey attempting to get back to the now I have intentionally avoided. You see this? Do you see how the problem of spiritual journeying is self-made? And pain is the only thing that sobers us. Because as much journeying as I can do away, the more pain I feel in the journey away. And instead of reinterpreting it back that I haven't tried hard enough, I begin to say, wait a minute, something's going on here. I've got to reevaluate this. And I stop. Perhaps for the first time in my life, I stop. Now I am ready for heart-centered meditation. I would have never been ready had I not exposed every strategy of mental avoidance to awareness, to understanding. Through my understanding of those strategies, I am ready to stop. And so the whole journey has really been about understanding how it is that we have created the problem before we're ready to stop the creation. Now I have no formulas, and I need to completely reframe the problem. Completely reframe it. And I begin to see that I am cocooned within the assumption of self. I'm cocooned within the idea of me. And that every time I try to journey away, it reinforces the cocoon, the hold, the encasement of that conceptualization, of that assumption. For it is one concept deep. Our imprisonment is one idea in depth. And we begin to see that tasking itself creates more cocoon, more isolation. And now, any journeying away, complicating the problem, comes to an end. We have taken away my doing. We have taken away our tasking. But what if I do nothing? I've been doing nothing my whole life. Doing nothing? That doesn't sound like the solution. No, because we haven't been doing nothing. We've been self-indulging. And doing nothing is very different than self-indulging. No longer can I try to think my way out of the problem. No longer can I conjure up hope in relationship to my problem. And I'm not just talking about knee pain, I'm talking about aging, death. Disfigurement. Cancer. I'm talking about Queen for Day stuff. The meat, not just knee pain, although it's the same problem. So we begin to see that the doing itself is the problem. So now what? Now we perhaps actually listen to the instruction. Maybe for the first time. Relax into, stop any movement, non-judgmental awareness. Add nothing to this moment. Allow just what is. We have been saying those things all along. But until each of us are ready to hear that, they seem as if they're an indication of a new journey. Something else I have to do. Well, now I have to allow. I don't really want to, but he or she says I should. Now I've got to allow. Okay? This is very unsatisfactory, but okay. Now I have to allow. Now I have to be. The mind acts and figures out. The heart opens and receives. The mind formalizes, strategizes, and journeys. The heart stops and is present. And the whole of the Buddha journey is from one to the other. And our tasking, our accomplishments, our productivity, and our purpose become reframed into caring, kindness, open-heartedness, awareness, patience. Really, the paramis are all expression of heart-centered meditation, of stopping, of just being still. And I see that tasking has been a defense against the truth. It has been a strategy to perpetuate me, to keep me defined sufficiently so that I feel like I'm moving, so I feel like I'm journeying, so I feel like I'm on my way to something. And all of that is a defense against stillness. Because stillness doesn't seem to define me. It doesn't give me an edge to rub up against. So as long as I struggle, I have an edge to rub up against. As long as I'm journeying, I have a purpose, an edge. And I stay defined. And I stay in my cocoon. And I stay within the assumption of me. For it's just an assumption, remember. And I'm loath to give up that assumption because who am I without that? And that's why I won't move into the problem. Because if I move into the problem without a resolution in sight, without a journey, what's going to protect me from the problem? I have no membrane between myself and this thing. I have no guarantees that I will not be overwhelmed by it, that I will not be defined by it, that the worst thing I think about myself will be true within it. And as long as I stay on a journey, I stay safe with it, at distant, traveling, seeing my mile markers, taking joy in the fact that I'm on my way, but not stopping. Not stopping. Maybe feel the coolness of the air when you walk outside, and the beauty of the snow. Maybe you have caught the distant call of a bird, the morning dove. And you feel your heart respond, just a little, with the freshness of that experience. And you feel affected by it. You feel touched by it. It's like life is so close. And the heart invites us with every call of the bird, with every ray of the sun on our shoulders, with every touch of the wind on our cheek. It calls us, it beckons us. Stop your journey. And so we meditate. And we sit here for a week. Many of us do so in reinforcing a sense of journey in ourselves. But from time to time, because that's normal, many of us do it, it's okay. Nobody's making a mistake here, you're not doing anything wrong. But from time to time, just listen to the bird. From time to time, feel the coolness of the air, the beauty of the wonderland. And let the heart know its aliveness. Let the heart feel itself being affected. Because this is a journey into our aliveness, not a journey into encasement. And the more affected we are, the more alive we become. And from time to time, ask yourself, where am I going? How am I moving from this moment? Who would I be if I did not move from this problem? Who would I be if I did nothing? If I stopped? If I let this problem affect me? If I gave up the assumption of me and the problem being two separate things? If I really, really listened and allowed myself, without any sense of self-protection, to touch the here and now. Because stillness is waiting. It hasn't left you. We have left it. Through our journeys, we leave and lose the very satisfaction that we so seek. It waits. It is here. It is not in some distant place. All it requires is the release from the assumption that I need to be any other place than here. And then I can rest. Can we sit for a minute or two? So feel the stillness in the room. That's a brush with the now. No barriers to it. No protection from it. Perfectly safe. As close to us as our own heartbeat. Thank you for allowing me to share.
लिख लेना चाहिए था फिर टाइम की बात नहीं, याद नहीं रहता ना सारा। मैं प्रयास करता हूँ आज के प्रवचन का सारांश देने का। ये मेरे प्रवचन जो है काफ़ी हद तक मेरी अपनी धर्म यात्रा से बिल्कुल जुड़ा हुआ लगता है। वो जो आचार्य हैं वो बता रहे हैं कि हम लोग जो साधना करते हैं, ख़ासतौर पे जो लंबे समय से साधना कर रहे हैं, उनका साधना करने का तरीका वही है जो कि किसी परेशानी को हम अपने जीवन में सॉल्व करने का तरीका रखते हैं। जो सामान्य जगत में जैसे कोई परेशानी है तो उसको फिक्स करने की कोई तरीका ढूंढते हैं, जल्दी से जल्दी वो ठीक हो जाए। तो वही एटीट्यूड लेके हम साधना भी करते हैं और सोचते हैं कि ये परेशानी हो रही है, इसको इस तरह से दूर किया जाए, ये बेचैनी है, ये गुस्सा है, ये वासना है, या और कोई घबराहट है, चिड़चिड़ाहट है, और साधना करते हैं उसके हिसाब से। और जो मुख्य ध्येय है वो कहते हैं हाँ अवेकनिंग हमारा ध्येय है, लेकिन उसके बारे में कभी कुछ विचार नहीं करते, उसका मतलब क्या है। तो और लगातार कहा जाता है कि और मेहनत करते रहो, कोशिश करते रहो, सजग रहो, खूब सफल हो गए। और साधना करते करते कुछ सालों में लाभ भी होता है, थोड़ा घबराहट कम होती है, थोड़ा मन स्थिर हो जाने लगता है, थोड़ा मन शांत होने लगता है। तो हमें लगता है कि हाँ लाभ तो हो ही रहा है, तो करते रहो। और भी हमें भी यही कहा जाता है कि करते रहो, धीरे धीरे और लाभ होगा और लाभ होगा और लक्ष्य तक पहुंच जाओगे। और एक समय आता है 10 साल हो गए, 20 साल हो गए, लगता है कि प्रॉब्लम जो हार्ट के अंदर जो दिल में जो मेन ग्रंथि थी वो तो छूट नहीं रही है अभी भी। हाँ हमारी जो परेशानियाँ थी, उस पर्सनालिटी की जो दिक्कतें थी वो थोड़ी कम हो गई, हमारी पर्सनालिटी थोड़ी अच्छी हो गई, हम झगड़ा कम करते हैं, हम थोड़ा दान भी कर लेते हैं, थोड़ा शील का पालन कर लेते हैं, बेचैन कम होते हैं। लेकिन अंतर मन में कहीं ना कहीं एक लैक रहता है, एक रहता है कि जो अवेकनिंग थी वो क्या हुआ, वो कितनी और एफर्ट करके मैं और अवेकन होऊंगा, कितना मुझे और एफर्ट करना है। तो ये जो यात्रा हम करते रहते हैं, ये यात्रा अपने में ही एक सेल्फ प्रोपेलिंग चीज़ बन जाती है कि हम यात्रा करते रहेंगे तो पहुंच ही जाएंगे। हमें ये नहीं सोचता कि हम किस ध्येय पे जा रहे हैं, उसको समझ तो लें। जो हमारी मूल परेशानी है वो ये नहीं है कि मेरे घुटने में दर्द हो रहा है, या मेरे ध्यान करते समय मेरा मन बहुत भटक रहा है, या मेरे को बहुत बेचैनी हो जाती है, या घर में परेशानी है, या ऑफिस में परेशानी है। वो हमारी मूल समस्या नहीं है। मूल समस्या है कि बुढ़ापा है, मृत्यु है, फिर जन्म है, फिर यही होने वाला है। वो मूल समस्या है जिसको भगवान ने हैंडल करने के लिए हमको साधना के लिए तत्पर किया था। वो कहीं और छूट जाती है। और हम समझते हैं कि धीरे धीरे जैसे जैसे मेरा गुस्सा कम हो रहा है, मन शांत हो रहा है, धीरे 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 वो सब भी हो जाएगा। वो बगैर सोचे समझे कि ध्येय क्या है, अवेकनिंग किसको कहते हैं, मुक्ति किसको कहते हैं, लिबरेशन किसको कहते हैं, हम उसको समझना ही नहीं चाहते गंभीरता से। हम समझते हैं कि मैं एफर्ट करता रहूँगा तो मैं मुक्त हो जाऊँगा। और जब 20 साल 25 साल हो जाते हैं तब सोचते हैं कि कोशिश तो बहुत कर ली, कितना एफर्ट करूँगा, कहीं ना कहीं कुछ गड़बड़ है। तो मुझे आदमी पूरी एफर्ट करके एक स्थिति आती है कि वो सोचता है कि मुझे ज़रा समझना चाहिए ये है क्या, जिसको मैं कह रहा हूँ कि मैं मुक्त हो जाऊँगा, ये प्रॉब्लम क्या है, उस वहाँ पे किस मुक्ति में बाधा कौन सी बाधा है। और जब उस तरह से सोचने लगते हैं, आदमी एफ़र्ट कर करके थक जाता है तो कहता है अच्छा बहुत एफ़र्ट कर लिया, मैं एफ़र्ट करना छोड़ता हूँ, मैं शांति से बैठता हूँ। वो जाता है, कुछ पक्षियों की आवाज़ सुनता है, दृश्य, बाहर के दृश्य देखता है, शांत होकर आकाश की ओर देखता है शांत होकर, तो उसको लगता है कि शांति तो मेरे भीतर ही है, मैं बेचैन जो हो जाता हूँ उसको क्यों मैं अडॉप्ट कर लेता हूँ, पकड़ लेता हूँ। और धीरे धीरे जब वो चिंतन करता है गहराई से तो उसको लगता है कि जो प्रॉब्लम है वो तो मैं हूँ, प्रॉब्लम बाहर नहीं है, मैं ही प्रॉब्लम बना हुआ हूँ अपनी सुख शांति में। क्योंकि सुख शांति का अनुभव तो मेरे भीतर हमेशा विद्यमान रहता है, लेकिन मैं उसको एक्सेस ही नहीं करता हूँ, उसकी तरफ जाता ही नहीं हूँ। बाहर ही, बाहर उस सेंस में नहीं कि संसार में, लेकिन मन के स्तर पे, जो बुद्धि और मन है उसके स्तर पे ही मैं उसको समस्या को समझने की कोशिश करने सकता हूँ। जो अंतर मन है, जो हृदय है, जो हमारा चित्त है, शुद्ध चित्त है, उसकी ओर जाने का प्रयास ही नहीं करते, क्योंकि हम समझते हैं कि उसी साधना मार्ग से ही हमारा ध्येय पूरा हो जाएगा। तो कहते हैं कि जब आप गंभीरता से देखेंगे तो पता चलेगा कि जो कष्ट है वो मैं ही कष्ट हूँ, मैं का भाव जो मैंने अज्यूम कर रखा है वही कष्ट का कारण है। और जब तक मैं का भाव लेके साधना करता रहूँगा कुछ होने वाला नहीं है। मैं थोड़ा बहुत सुधार कर लूँगा अपनी पर्सनालिटी में, लेकिन जो मूल तत्व है, जो मूल परेशानी है वो सॉल्व नहीं होगी। इसलिए कभी कभी हमको कह रहे थे कि शांत बैठ के, कभी चुपचाप बैठ के, कोई पक्षियों की आवाज़ सुन लो, आकाश के तारे देख लो, बाहर के प्रकृति के साथ देख लो, शांति का अनुभव करोगे तो पता चलेगा कि शांति मेरे भीतर है, लेकिन वो मैं उसको एक्सेस नहीं कर रहा हूँ। और उसको एक्सेस तभी कर पाऊँगा जब मैं के भाव को समझूंगा, और ये मैं का जो भाव मैंने अपने ऊपर लपेटा हुआ है उसको हटाने का प्रयास करूँगा, उसको समझूंगा कि वो एक इमेजिनेशन है। इमेजिनेशन को हटाने के लिए समझ की ज़रूरत है, उसके लिए और कोई प्रयास करने की ज़रूरत नहीं। तो वो फिर जब हम उस स्थिति में आते हैं तो हमारी मेडिटेशन वो कहते हैं हार्ट सेंटर्ड हो जाती है। तो अपने सचमुच में जो हमारा अंतर मन है, या जिसको थाई ट्रेडिशन में चित्त कहते हैं, अजान मन, अजान सुमेधो, जो चित्त है हमारा शुद्ध चित्त, उसकी तरफ, या अवेकनिंग, जैसे अजान सुमेधो बार बार शब्द इस्तेमाल करते हैं, अवेकंड अवेयरनेस, अवेयरनेस, शुद्ध प्योर चित्त जो है, या भगवान की वाणी में अनिर्दिष्ट विज्ञान की बात होती है, उस तरफ हम जब सोचने लगते हैं, उस तरफ विचार करने लगते हैं, तो साधना में अपना एफर्ट छोड़ देते हैं। मैं अपने एफर्ट से मुक्त हो जाऊंगा, ये अपने में एक बहुत भारी विरोधाभास है। उसको मैं को छोड़ देंगे तो शांत हो जाएंगे। तो जो शांति है वो अंदर निहित है, उसको ठीक से अगर हम एक्सेस कर सकें तो सचमुच में जो हमारी प्रॉब्लम है, जो गहरी प्रॉब्लम है जरा मृत्यु की, वो सॉल्व हो जाएगी। ऐसा उनका अपने अनुभव से आधार से बोल रहे थे। तो अब ब्रह्म विहारों का अनुभव करते हैं आज ठीक से, ज़रा समय है तो अच्छी तरह से करते हैं। अरे मन थोड़ा शांत कर लेते हैं। जैसे मैंने पहले भी निवेदन किया था, वी शुड विजुअलाइज, अपने बारे को जो मैत्री देते हैं तो अपने को विजुअलाइज करें, अपनी परेशानियों को विजुअलाइज करें, अपने प्रियजनों को देते हैं तो उनको विजुअलाइज करें। अगर हम फोटोजेनिक मेमोरी है तो उनके चित्र को सामने लाएं, मन की आँखों के, उनको याद करके, उनके चित्र को देख के, जो मैत्री के शब्द हैं उनके अर्थ को समझते हुए आप सब निर्वैर हों, दुर्भावना से मुक्त हों, सद्भावना से भर जाएं, सुखी हों, चिंता से मुक्त हों, अपना भरण पोषण सुखपूर्वक कर सकें। जो शब्द हम इस्तेमाल करते हैं अपने ट्रेडिशन के, उनके मतलब को समझते हुए हर एक का ध्यान करें तो बहुत अच्छा लगेगा, वो और ज़्यादा फलदायी भी होगा। तो मैं शब्द बोलूँगा, थोड़ी थोड़ी देर बीच में रुकता भी रहूँगा। तो सबसे पहले अपने को, फिर अपने प्रियजनों को, फिर आरक्षण करने वाले देवताओं को। जो मुझ में वैर कभी कभी जागता है, उसको याद करके कि मैं वैर से मुक्त हूँ। कभी कभी चिंता जागती है तो मैं अपने चिंता से मुक्त हूँ। तो ये सब अपने भीतर को जांचते हुए ये भावना करते हैं। अहं अविरोमि अव्यापञ्जोमि अनिगोमि सुखी अत्तानं परिहरामि। मम माता पितु आचार्या च ज्ञातिमित्ता च स ब्रह्मचारिणो च अवैराहोन्तु अव्यापञ्जाहोन्तु अनिगाहोन्तु सुखी अत्तानं परिहरन्तु। आरक्षा देवता, भूमट्ठा देवता, रुक्षट्ठा देवता, आकाशट्ठा देवता अविराहोन्तु अव्यापञ्जाहोन्तु अनिगाहोन्तु सुखी अत्तानं परिहरन्तु। आप सभी समस्त प्राणियों को, उनको भी याद कर सकते हैं जिनके प्रति कुछ द्वेष बना हो, जाने अनजाने में, जिनके बारे में सुनते हो न्यूज़ में, टीवी में देखते हैं प्राणियों को, सबको हृदय से। और जब हृदय से बात करते हैं तो हृदय पे, हृदय वस्तु पे या शरीर में संवेदना वैसी होने लगती हैं। उनको भी जानते हुए मैत्री को रेडिएट किया जा सकता है। सब्बे सत्ता सब्बे पाना सब्बे भूता सब्बे पुंगला सब्बे अत्ता भाव परियापन्ना Sabbaithiyo Sabbe Purisa Sabbe Ariya Sabbe Nariya Sabbe Deva Sabbe Manussa Sabbe Vinipatika Ahirahontu Avyapajjahontu Aningahontu Sukhi attanang pariharantu. अब करुणा ब्रह्म विहार उन सबको याद करते हुए जिनको हम पर्सनली जानते हैं या जिनके बारे में सुना है कि बहुत कष्ट में हैं, दुख में हैं किसी भी कारण से या इस महामारी के कारण, सबको याद करके मन में करुणा जागती है। सभी के दुख दूर हों, सभी के रोग दुख हों, रोग मुक्त हों, स्वस्थ हों, दीर्घायु हों, ऐसी शुभकामना सबके लिए हृदय से। सर्वेतियो विभज्जन्तु सुखो रोगो विनश्यतु माते भवतु अन्तरायो सुखी दीर्घायुको भव सुखी दीर्घायुको भव सुखी दीर्घायुको भव। अब कृतज्ञता ज्ञापन उन सब के प्रति जो इतनी कठिन परिस्थितियों में भी सेवा कार्यों में लगे हुए हैं, खासतौर पे डॉक्टर और पैरामेडिक्स का जो बिल्कुल खतरे के जोन में रहते हुए भी सेवा कर रहे हैं, और बाकी अन्य लोग भी जो सुरक्षा कर दे रहे हैं, आवश्यक वस्तुएं आवश्यक सेवाएं बनाए रखने में मदद कर रहे हैं। हम सबका मंगल हो, सबका कल्याण हो, सभी स्वस्थ रहें, सुरक्षित रहें, दुख से मुक्त हो, कोई भी दुख उन्हें ना आए। उन सब के साथ हमारे पुण्य साझा करते हैं। पुण्यस्य इदानि याना अन्यानि कतानि मे ते संच भागिनो हन्तु सत्तानन्तपमानका। मदिता ब्रह्म विहार उन सब के प्रति, उन सब की खुशी में हम शामिल हों जो किसी भी कारणों से अपने पुण्यों के कारण, उदय के कारण प्रसन्नता महसूस कर रहे हैं, जो रोग से मुक्त होकर स्वास्थ्य लाभ कर रहे हैं और प्रसन्न हैं। उन सब की प्रसन्नता बनी रहे, कोई व्यवधान ना आए, उनकी सुख संपत्ति बनी रहे, ऐसी शुभकामना हृदय से। यथा लब्धा सम्पत्तितो मा विगच्छन्तु। अब उपेक्षा ब्रह्म विहार समत्व का भाव, सारे जीवन के उतार चढ़ाव में समत्व, सभी के प्रति ये शुभकामना कि चाहे वो दुख में हो, चाहे सुख में हो, चाहे कष्ट में हो, सेवा कर रहे हैं उसमें सफलता मिले या न मिले, हर परिस्थिति में चित्त कंपायमान न हो। उसके लिए भगवान का दिया गया उस उपदेश कि अगर हम अपने कर्मों को याद करें और समझें कि हर परिस्थिति हमारे कर्मों का फल है, तो चित्त को विषम परिस्थिति एक्सेप्ट करने में सहूलियत हो जाती है। इसलिए भगवान की ये यानी बार बार याद करना बहुत लाभदायक है। कम्मस्य का कम्मदायादा कम्मयोनि कम्मबन्धु कम्मपटिसरण यं कम्मं करिष्यन्ति कल्याणं वा पापकं वा तस्य दायादा भविष्यन्ति। इसका अर्थ ये नहीं कि जो दुख में है हम कहें कि तुम अपने कर्मों का फल भोगते हो, हमें कोई मतलब। दुखी जे करुणा जागती है, वो बात भी साथ रहनी चाहिए। और ये समता का भाव तभी पुष्ट होगा जब हमारी दृष्टि सम्यक होगी। यथाभूत ज्ञान दर्शनम से देखेंगे तो स्पष्टता से दुख और दुख का कारण समझ में आएगा, और तभी हम सचमुच में हमारा उत्तम मंगल होगा। तो आए शुभकामना करें कि सबकी दृष्टि सम्यक हो, दुख से मुक्त हो, सभी सुखी हो, कोई भी गलत काम ना करें जिससे कि शोक हो, दुख हो। सर्वे सत्ता सुखी होन्तु, सर्वे होन्तु सुखिनो, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा किञ्चित् पापमागमात्, मा किञ्चित् शोकम्, मा किञ्चित् दुःखमागमात्। भवतु सर्वमङ्गलं, रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता, सर्वबुद्धानुभावेन सदा सुखिनो ते। भवतु सर्वमङ्गलं, रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता, सर्वधर्मानुभावेन सदा सुखिनो ते। भवतु सर्वमङ्गलं, रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता, सर्वसङ्घानुभावेन सदा सुखिनो ते। अरहं सम्मा सम्बुद्धो भगवान् बुद्धं भगवन्तं अभिवादयामि। साक्षातो भगवता धम्मो धम्मं नमस्सामि। सुपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावक संघो संघं